It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with my own review of Love and Marriage Detroit. I'm disappointed, as I was the first season. I'm proud of myself that I stuck it out to complete this season, but this season was a snooze. Nothing happened this season. Same old, same old. Y'all should not have cut this season in half. And now that we have the reunion coming up, I feel like majority of the reunion is going to be everybody pointing fingers at Christina and Brandon. That's how I feel, and I can't be wrong. So this is obviously the final night of the staycation. Kolby appreciates all the ladies for wearing baby bumps, making her feel seen and important. Anthony is happy to see Kim and Christina in a better place than they were before, because Anthony was definitely getting his life watching Christina getting confronted by Kimberly. But Christina said that no matter what her and Kimberly go through, love was never the issue. She started to express how it made her feel, and she starts to cry. Kim finally got the validation that she's been expecting out of Christina, which is for her to be real with her, which is for her to be showing up. You've been complaining all this time about how Christina is not the type of person, she's this, she's that, but yet she's done everything she can to move forward with you. You've been just holding off on actually allowing it because you're still stuck in the past of what took place in your friendship. To say that my sister hurt me, how did she hurt you? The Android comment, her being 2 hours late to a baby shower you threw for her, make it make sense. And you know what it reminded me of? And it clicked for me. This reminds me of Melody and Destiny off of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Melody has not been in a friendship setting with Destiny for the last couple of years. And Destiny wants to restart her friendship with Mel by still staying in the past of where they were in their friendship. And she does not want to let go, hold herself accountable about what has taken place, but still blame everything on Mel. And that's exactly what Kimberly did. Kimberly blamed everything on Christina about where they were in their friendship and still have not moved forward from it. Now she gets this moment. She's now ready to move on. I cannot. Can't. Done with it. So now we get to, where does Latoya and Christina stand? Well, according to Latoya, there were signs that they were moving forward, but then the Chelsea thing was brought up and now we're on pause. I don't get how this one person who hasn't really been around y'all like that can cause such a rift in the truce that you really didn't want to have her, Christina. Because let's not make it seem as if Christina has been the one that's been fighting with trying not to move forward. It's been you. It's been your husband. And Latoya, your hands aren't clean as to where things have happened between you and Christina. You jumped in on the Kolby situation and you kind of aided into Kimberly confronting Christina. So did you really want to have this truce with Christina? I just think that you just want to be a part of the mean girl clique, be the leader of the clique to ostracize Christina, because either you feel a way that she was the one who started the season, started the show when it came down to her issues, because it was her issues with her husband that brought everybody to the screen to want to know. We don't care about you and Anthony, because to me, you and Anthony are fake. And you also the type of people who refuses to let go of a situation that is not even that big of a deal. But then you are also the type of people who wants to appear like they're better, but yet y'all act so easily bothered by people who you feel like are beneath you. Kimberly jumped in and said, y'all gotta give her a little bit of grace. I appreciate Kimberly in this moment for speaking up for Christina, because y'all can't blame her about her wanting to still be friends with Chelsea, because she's been friends with Chelsea before she was cool with any one of y'all. And y'all can't make her feel bad about being cool with this person if y'all don't even like her. And that's her friend. She's never tried to bring her friend around y'all to be cool with her. It's not up to y'all to like her, but y'all still should show that respect that that is her friend, and she should defend her friend. Just like Kolby defends you for no reason, just like Kimberly defends you for no reason. So you can't make it seem as if Christina defending Chelsea is just so out of pocket and it's so wrong. So now we get to Kolby and where she's at in her friendship with Christina. We all know in the beginning of the season, they did have a conversation of how they wanted to move forward. I know it won't be like it used to be, but let's try. Kolby has been appreciative of the efforts that Christina has made, but maybe the way that Kolby expressed it, Christina felt like it's not enough. Kolby is probably not over what has taken place in her friendship with Christina, and maybe she hasn't let go with what has taken place with her and Chelsea, and that Christina has defended Chelsea than her. So Christina is like, I'm done trying to prove that I'm trying to make an effort. I'm done proving that I want to fix our friendship, and if she's not seeing it, then I'm done. And I don't disagree with Christina, because Kolby is the type of person who always expects more out of people, and she's not willing to do the same in return. Then we get to Brandon. I don't know if it was a joke or a question, but Brandon wondered how much money has Anthony invested in LaToya's business in the last 6 months. I don't know how that was weird. I don't know. Was it messy? Maybe. But of course, Anthony and LaToya make it an issue even further by saying that Brandon is obsessed with their finances and he's kind of pocket watching. How? When all other times when nobody mentions any money, Anthony is the type to always bring up money. Anthony is the type to always brag about how much he's invested in certain things. How he's the man who's about that money, about that bread, when nobody's asking him. So you guys are weird. Anthony and LaToya are weird. Like, y'all make issues out of nothing because y'all want to be in that conversation so bad about how y'all got a lot of shit going on. But what shit have y'all had going on? We ain't heard shit about your business since the first season. It's been you crying about your kids not being appreciative of you. I ain't seen shit about the man's movement. What do you guys have going on? Because I feel like you guys attach yourselves to other people who have shit going on and y'all give y'all 2 cents in versus y'all actually showing up to work. Anyway. Then we get Russell. Russell is getting ready to have baby number 2. And there's talks about planning for baby number 3. That might be something that Kolby wasn't prepared to be talked about because Kolby doesn't want a soccer team. Kolby doesn't want to go through those trials of trying to have the one gender that she's been so desperate to have as a boy. But Russell pretty much says, I've done all the work that I'm supposed to. And now I just want to stop and smell the flowers. I just want to take a break. But Russell doesn't want to take a break. Russell wants to keep himself as busy as possible, not only for the sake of wanting to provide, but because he doesn't want to deal with the day-to-day of actually being there to help Kolby and the children. So because he doesn't want to come with a balanced schedule and how everything is very important to him, you know, the gym, military, and as far as how long he wants to be in the military, he wants to reach 20 years. And that was something that Kolby was not excited to hear, nor that she wasn't prepared to even hear him say that, because this might have been a time where they had a conversation about his time in the military, but it was never a concrete decision. So he did exactly what he wanted to do, which is throw out something that he's been thinking about, not waiting for Kolby to have an opinion, but still make his own decision. And expect for Kolby to just follow through with the plan. So we can see that she is visibly upset about hearing this information because she was blindsided by this. And Marcel finally has something to add to the conversation. He has had 2 uncles who served time in the military. And when it came down to adding more years, one stayed married, one got divorced because there was never a conversation. He did say that if it does conflict with his time between the kids and the business, he would stop. Would you stop? Because I feel like you never do take any consideration in Kolby's feelings in regards to her telling you that she wants you to do something different. You do it when you're ready to do it. But Kolby don't want to have this conversation because she doesn't like how it's making her feel. So let's change the subject. How is Christina's music going? Christina is still debating on whether or not she wants to be a full-time artist or someone who just puts a little music out here and there, and where she's at in life. She's older, she has children, and of course she's has her own thing with influencing. But I feel like Christina doesn't really have the passion of wanting to be a singer. Does she wants to sing? Yes. But does she wants to make it a career? Probably not. And Brandon wants her to stop using the kids as a priority to get her out of what she wants to do. Well, if her being the mom and wants to make sure her kids are good, of course she's going to make sure the kids are good. Yes, his mom is available to watch the kids, but I don't know if Christina wants that to be an obvious choice. Maybe Christina has just been swallowing all of her wants and desires to help Brandon, that she doesn't even know how to really be comfortable in actually doing things for herself. She decides to announce that she has a performance in the next week, and she is visibly nervous. She's full of anxiety because she thinks she didn't have enough training. He's like, tough cookie, you got 7 days, let's grind. Putting her on the spot like that to perform when you know she's had a problem and she hasn't had enough training, it's not cool of Brandon to do that. And she said, I don't feel prepared. And I don't want to fall flat because it's going to affect me, not you. And he's like, listen, I'll be there. We'll go into overtime if we have to. Okay, we'll see. So now we get Christina and Brandon. They're at the Star Factory rehearsing her song. It's called Found Destination. Yes, she has the lyrics down, but she's so focused on getting the song down and not emoting the song. Her facial expression is giving tense. Bravo comes in because Brandon reached out to him to see if he can find a space for her to perform, and he just finished a new remodel to his middle level of the club and figures that's a perfect space for her. It's a very intimate setting. It's not a big scene. I think it'll work. Chelsea comes in and it's pretty much getting the group together to go through last minute decisions, last minute things to get handled. And Bravo was excited about unveiling his new space for Christina to perform because he views Christina like a sister. While discussing how nervous she is, Chelsea tells her, you got it, okay? You just got to get your emotions out of it and you're going to do great. Bravo even said, the greatest artists of all time have had stage fright, so you're not alone. So they are also discussing what took place on the staycation, and that Chelsea's name came up immediately before anything came up, before anything went down, and it was brought on by Anthony and LaToya because the podcast situation is what made them feel all types of ways, because they both feel like we were messy for bringing you to the podcast. We were being disrespectful and blah, blah, blah. So considering that that is an issue, should we invite everybody? But Chelsea said no. Invite everybody. It's all good. And they gonna feel some type of way about it anyway if you don't invite them. And Brandon even said that if we invite everybody, we're gonna point out who's the biggest hater. That might be your biggest supporter. I ain't mad at it though, because I do feel like it's not even that serious in my opinion, but hey, it is what it is. So Kolby and Russell are preparing for their new arrival, and it's been challenging for Kolby to deal with the gender disappointment because she didn't have a boy. She wanted to be one and done, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just annoyed with Kolby of her having such a disdain for one, being pregnant, and for two, being upset that she's having two girls. Thinking that it would have been an easier process if she just had a boy. Fine. But Russell has recognized that this pregnancy has been difficult for his wife, and he's grateful of the lesson he's learned about appreciating his wife for giving him the blessing to have children. Then Kolby is looking at the time that their daughter will be 3 and their baby will be 6 months, and they're going to share a room. Russell thought that it will be a normal occurrence because maybe Kendall can watch her baby sister. Kolby really didn't like that comment because it reflects on how Russell grew up. Russell grew up with a house full of siblings, and by the time they were 5 years old, they had the responsibility of learning how to wash dishes, do laundry, and she didn't like that. She doesn't really want Russell to rely on his upbringing to use in his time of being a parent, because we don't have to struggle with the way that our parents struggle. We're now in the space we can afford to make things easy for us, and we should take advantage of it. I'm not against Kolby on wanting to make things easy for her now that she has children and now that she's in a better place to afford to make things easier. But I'm not knocking Russell on how to have that responsibility, because as your child get older, they will have responsibilities to learn how to take care of themselves. They will have responsibilities to learn how to clean up after themselves. They should learn that no matter how much you're going to pay for a caregiver to do all those things, a housekeeper or a maid. You don't take away those natural life lessons from your children because you can afford to. And pretty much the help that she's going to be needing from Russell once the baby is here, because her au pair won't be available until the summertime. She does not believe that Russell is going to take enough time off to be there for her and the baby. He might be there for maybe a day or two, but he's not going to solely drop everything to be there for her and the baby. And then Russell is coming to the realization that he about to be a father of 2, and how he needs to properly spend time with both kids. Yes, the baby comes first because the baby needs more of attention, but start carving out time with your other daughter. Be intentional by taking her to the park, taking her out to eat, play with her, show up. But Russell doesn't show up at all. So here's the thing. For Kolby to expect so much out of Russell to be present when he needs to work, I think that Kolby needs to let go of that expectation that Russell can just drop everything and be there with her because she doesn't want to be alone with the kids. The one thing I've learned about Kolby is I don't think that Kolby has learned how to navigate life without believing it's going to be easy. And I think that Kolby is around the same age as me or even a bit older than me. But this expectation that she has that everything's supposed to just be handled where she doesn't have to deal with it and actually feel it is not going to work. Being a parent is not easy. Being a mom is not easy. Being a wife is not easy. Being an adult is not easy. So Kolby really needs to come to the reality of how things are not going to be handled for you because you want to have a temper tantrum and expect things to be handled for you without you having to go through it. Being an entrepreneur is not going to always mean you're at home all day. You still got to put time in to keep the money coming in. So he has to go to work. So for you, Kolby, I need for you to let go of wanting to still be catered to all the time because, yes, she did tell him, I need you to carve out some time for me as well. And all he said was copy that. Of course, he's probably not taking it as serious as he should because he just thinks that there's another thing I got to do for Kolby and I'm doing my best. I just need for her to be patient with me. But Kolby, he's doing what he can. You got to do what you can too. And now, obviously, the way you are setting up the finances in your mind, then he has to go to work. If he wants to make sure you're comfortable, you got everything you need, he has to go to work. He has to be as present as he can. You got to be patient and still do your part. You cannot cry and whine every single time. You got to do everything by yourself. You are the one who wanted to have kids as well, and this is what comes with it. You might have to do things by yourself. Sorry. Even if you are married, even if you are being able to afford to have help, there will be some things you got to do by yourself. Kolby, stop being a spoiled brat and just grow up. And I'm done. So now we got Bravo and Lakita. They go into the jewelry store to pick up some jewelry. And that's been an issue for her as well because you're flashy. You buy the chains, you buy the bracelets, you buy the cufflinks, you buy the earrings. And I don't want nothing to happen to you when you're out late at night and someone can come up and rob you or unalive you. So in order for her to feel like he's safe, you need to let me know where you at. So then he mentions the conversation he had with Brandon about maybe we should share locations. So that way you can know that I'm safe wherever I'm at, but I'm going to allow you to know wherever I'm at so you can feel safe and protected. But the way that he was talking in circles and then wanted to compare how Brandon and Christina had that type of issue and look what they had going on. Well, Brandon was out here doing some shit he shouldn't have been doing. Brandon was trying to separate how he was with Christina versus how he was when he's in the studio, when he's out in the clubs. Bravo, you're giving me that same energy of how you are against letting your wife know where you're at. And what time does your club close? There ain't nothing open past 2 a.m. So what is it? Why you got to be out so late that you cannot communicate with your wife about you coming home? So he eventually caved in, requested the share location, and it shouldn't have been that difficult because then he wanted to compare of how she'll say she'll go to the gas station and then she'll end up at Target. That's in the daytime, and I'm not out here splurging a whole lot of money. I'm buying little things here and there, out late at night with your homeboys, doing God knows what else, allowing for yourself to be like you a single man. So don't make it seem as if the situations are the same, Bravo, because they're not. And I don't like that, Bravo. It wouldn't have been this damn difficult for you to just communicate with her when you're coming home. Communicate with her when you might think you're coming home. Communicate with her about where you're going. Lakita, you don't even need to have his location. You can look on your Find My app and be able to look where he at. Period, point blank. Because something's telling me Lakita's probably hesitant on popping up on you, that you might be somewhere you shouldn't be, or you might be doing something you shouldn't be doing, Bravo. I'm telling you, Bravo, you are walking a dangerous line to still be able to do the things you want to do without getting checked, without getting questioned. Not gonna work. Moving on. So now we got Bravo. It is Christina's opening night in the newly remodeled club that Brandon has. So we are at Bravo's newly remodeled club, and it's a part of Christina's opening night. I love that his entire setup is a multi-level. Chelsea is there to make sure that everything is all set up, the sound, the lighting, the stage, everything. Everybody has arrived to show support. Christina's getting ready to sing. And the song is very personal to her because it was pretty much a song about her marriage, that whole roller coaster. And we saw how everything transpired from the first season, how Brandon never really appreciated Christina. He never appreciated the sacrifice she made for him. He never valued how she never wanted him to be out in the club that way. He was inappropriate with female artists. So much has been said and done. Everybody gave her credit of looking good on the stage, singing on the stage. I think she looked good. I think she sounded good. But I needed to hear the entire song without the live band. Maybe I need to hear the master track so I can really hear how she sounds. So once she gets off the stage, everybody gave her credit of how good she looked, how good she sounded, and how much courage it took for her to get up on that stage. Bravo takes the fellas to the bar so they can hang out. Okay, so we got Chelsea giving her props and kudos to Christina about how good she looked on stage, how good she sounded, and that when she was getting back into music, her biggest fear was performing. And now that she's able to glide across the stage and perform the song, she can only get better. You see that this is about Christina, but yet you see Kolby and LaToya being completely annoyed by Chelsea being there, and she's not even giving them any energy, but they want energy from her. Kimberly picks up the energy from LaToya and Kolby, but says it's up to Chelsea to address the issue. It's up to Chelsea to come up with a time and place. That's not this time to address the problem. No, Kimberly. It's up to LaToya and Kolby because they're the ones itching to have a moment, and it's just bugging the shit out of me. So LaToya goes off right after Chelsea says, do you feel the tension? And it's all about how she shouldn't have been at Anthony's podcast. She was unprofessional. She was rude. She was ghetto, considering the history that LaToya keeps saying. And the comment that was mentioned was boring, but she didn't say boring throughout the entire interview. She said she was bored after the interview had wrapped and they're just sitting down having pointless conversations. So to me, LaToya, is letting me know you definitely got Anthony's version of the story, because how he is telling you, that's not what we saw on the screen. And Chelsea took accountability as far as being unprofessional, but she also gave props to Anthony about how good of an interviewer that he was. And now he had his whole setup done professionally. But then to say that if someone was taking shots at you, are you supposed to just sit there? But then LaToya wants to make it seem as if Chelsea threw shots at him first based off of what Anthony told her. And she said, no, I didn't, because you weren't there. And that's what LaToya is having an issue accepting. You cannot make her believe that you knew everything about what happened when you weren't there to see it. You only heard Anthony's side, and we can see Anthony spin stuff. Anthony creates issues out of nowhere. So how can we think Anthony's version of the story is any more believable than what we saw on the screen? So nothing was accomplished here. And then Kolby wants to chime in and say that if nobody wants to be around you, you should not be around anybody. But who's asking for her to be around anybody? Nobody's expecting for her to treat me differently because she's coming around. Because she's not coming around for y'all. She's coming around for her friend. And how LaToya is getting frustrated that Chelsea was ghetto. She said it more than once. And it's like Chelsea's saying, okay, well, that's your interpretation, but that's not me, so keep on believing that, because you can't tell somebody how they're acting if you've never really got that side of them. So very high school of Kolby to want to point who's a part of the group and who isn't, like on some Gretchen Wieners type shit. You can't sit with us. It's lame as hell. Like, what is this? So Kolby wants to get out of her seat, being 9 months pregnant, saying nobody wants you around, nobody wants you here. Who's really being ghetto right now, LaToya? Is giving you and Kolby, because what the fuck is going on here? And am I in the Twilight Zone? Because LaToya wants to say that Chelsea's being confrontational and she's being disruptive at her own client's event. Excuse me, ma'am. You're the one being confrontational. You're the one being disruptive because you just couldn't wait to have this moment with Chelsea when she wasn't even seeking for you. She wasn't even looking for you. You were the one who wanted a moment with her, but because she's giving you the same energy you're giving her, you're now getting frustrated. You're now getting out of character. See, Kimberly, you see how you wanted to drill it in Christina about how she needs to accept that other people have those types of characteristics? Exhibit A and Exhibit B. Okay? So it's all going left. And then Christina tells Kolby, you doing too much. And that makes Kolby even more hype because she just wants to have that expectation out of Christina that how come you never tell her she's doing too much? Why are you always coming at me? Because as Christina told Kolby, she wasn't talking to you. This was a conversation between the two of them. What do I need to step in for? You should never stepped in. This has nothing to do with you. It was very unnecessary for y'all to double team her for no reason. And then they were just going off on Chelsea about her lack of relevancy, how she doesn't have nothing going on for herself. And it's like, who the fuck are y'all? You guys are not above everybody else that y'all think y'all are. I don't know why y'all coming at Chelsea so much because Chelsea does not read off her resume like you do, Latoya, like you do, Anthony. She doesn't do that. And then witnessing how Kolby came at Chelsea for no reason, and then when she gets called out, she wants to play victim. No. You had no business jumping into a conversation that has nothing to do with you, and you being 9 months pregnant, you definitely should not have gotten involved in it. And that's what Christina tells her. Because she's like, I'm just rolling my eyes at this point because Kolby, you just want to have an issue. Because you're still holding on to what you got going on in your personal life and your relationship with your husband, and you're projecting it on Chelsea. Because you want to have this type of energy for no reason, but then complain when you get called out for it. So she tells her, what they have going on, you should not have chimed in. And then she wants to defend it by saying, but I didn't do anything. All I did was do this. She said, we are not in kindergarten, Kolby. Making faces, making noises, it's just an automatic invitation for somebody to come and address you. So you can't play victim as if you wasn't doing anything to instigate it. Stop it. And then Russell want to come in. He shuts everything down. And I'm just tired of him. I'm tired of Kolby. Because Kolby never wants to be accountable for anything. And this is the shit I'm talking about. Y'all want to point fingers at Christina about how the shit she does. But yet nobody takes accountability of the part that they play in. This is not on Christina. Now, Kimberly, I gave you a bit of a brownie point last week. And I'm taking it back. Because you a fake ass bitch right here. Being a fucking flip-flopper once everybody leaves to say that Kolby and Latoya felt slighted. Slighted about what? They were the ones who started the shit with Chelsea for no reason. Because I don't know why Latoya would not just accepted Chelsea taking accountability without wanting to still carry on an argument. And for Kolby, I don't know what your problem is, ma'am. But it's just doing way too much in my opinion. And I don't know. Half believe we can move forward. Half believe it is what it is. And then I'm done. I'm done. And that was pretty much the end of the episode. And it's the end of season 2. But this shit, hang it up. Hang it up flat screen. Because I feel like y'all keep on reusing old issues that y'all never want to get over. And it's exhausting as fuck. But y'all, that's it. I'm done. Please stay tuned for my next video. I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.